Rati Harini Skuta Vrinda Vipinse Radhe Jai Jayo Madhava Daite Vrishabhanu Dali Navashashi Leke Lalita Sakhi Guna Ramita Vishakhe Vrishabhanu Dali Navashashi Leke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishate Radhe Radhe Jai Jayo Madhava Dhaite Karunam Kuru Mai Karuna Bharite Karunam Kuru Mai Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite Radhe Jai Jayo Madhava Dhaite Radhe Jai Jayo Madhava Dhaite Gokula Karyuni Mandala Magite Radhe Radhe Jai Jayo Madhava Dhaite Kurnam Kuru Mai Karuna Bharite Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite Radhe Radhe Jai Jayo Madhava Dhaite Radhe Radhe Jai Jayo Madhava Dhaite Hare Krishna. So this is prayer by Radhikastava, sung by Rupa Goswami. So very nice prayers. So he's saying, "O Radha, O beloved of Madhava, O you are worshipped by all the young girls of Gokula. All glories unto you. All glories unto you. Oh, you would dress yourself in such a way as to increase Lord Damodara's love and attachment for you. O Queen of Vrindavana, which is the pleasure grove of Lord Hari. O new moon, who has arisen from the ocean of King of Vrishabhanu. O friend of Lalita, oh, you who make Vishaka loyal to you due to your wonderful qualities of friendliness, kindness, and faithfulness to Krishna. Oh, you are filled with compassion. Oh, whose divine characteristics are described by the great sages, Sanaka Sanatana. Oh, Radhe, please be merciful to me. See, actually, in our Sampradaya, and especially nobody talks about among all the Vaishnava Sampradayas, people generally don't talk about Radharani. It is only our Sampradaya, which talks about Radharani. In fact, they talk about so much about Radharani. Our all the entire Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. They talk so much. They talk more about Radharani than Krishna. They're very partial to Radharani because their feeling is that the Lord came from Vrindavana and is there in Mathura or Dwaraka and all, where all the queens are there, Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati, all those things are there, and he is there with all the paraphernalia around and all, but there the gopis and Radharani, they are the one who are all the time lamenting for Krishna. So they're so fanatically, our entire Vaishnava Parampara, he's saying, no, Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. All the sages, they talk about, Radharani is so much, Krishna is only a kind of, it is secondary, for our, because along with Radha, Krishna is there, so we worship him. That kind of mood we have, and of course the Lord also enjoys Mad Bhakta Pujyabhyadika, when the Lord says that, please give more worship to my devotee rather than myself. So all we all have to fanatically be develop our attachment to Radharani. If we don't develop our attachment to Radharani, then definitely there is something wrong with us. We must develop, some or other, develop attachment to Radharani, because she is the only one. Because Krishna, we all know that he is very strict. Especially when it comes to devotional service, he is very, very strict. He doesn't give devotion so easily. He may give wealth. Of course, he doesn't give wealth also devotees, because it spoils devotees, because we are already struggling to come out of this attachment to matter. And the Lord doesn't give so easily wealth also, because he wants to purify. We have a short vision. We always want Krishna to give something to us, so that we'll be very happy, because we have not developed our senses to enjoy the transcendental nature, because we still, our senses are trying to enjoy only the material things, not spiritual this thing. So we'll feel very happy when we get a promotion, or when the Lord gives us blessings in our business. We get a lot of money, profit. We enjoy much more than singing in Radhikastava, because our senses are still developed. So the Lord may not give wealth also to devotees, unless if we are able to handle it. He will definitely give if we are able to handle the wealth very well, and use. And if you don't develop the attachment for this, yes, the Lord will give. But if we are not reached that stage, the Lord will not give, because he knows what is good for us and what is not good for us. So he may give wealth also, but devotion he doesn't give so easily to anybody. He is very strict in that matter. The Lord, only way in Kali Yuga we are getting some sort of devotion is, that is again because of Radharani only. Why? Because Radharani only, she comes, and the Krishna comes in the mood of Radharani. That's why the Lord is so merciful. I mean, we can understand just by looking at Gauranga Mahaprabhu, because though he is Krishna, but the mood he is carrying is whose? It is Radharani's mood who is carrying. And even Nitai also, whose mood they are carrying, it is Radharani. We have Nitai Nitai na bolilo maji Radha Krishna Paitenai. So unless we have Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, we cannot sing glories of Radha Krishna, the wonderful prayer, this thing. So when you look at both Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga, then we know how merciful the mother is there, Radharani. We know that the prayer which Vyasadeva is written, not only our parampara, even the great sages also writing prayers on Radharani. Vyasadeva, right, the famous verse, Devi Krishnamayi Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mayi Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. She is Sarva Lakshmi. All Lakshmis are emanation of Radharani. Devi Krishnamayi Prokta. She is full of love for the Lord. So even, of course, Sukadeva Goswami, also talks so much, because Sukadeva Goswami naturally is the parrot of Radharani. Of course, though he is not mentioned directly in Bhagavatam, but he is full of, this thing for Radha, this thing. So we all, some more or other, we have to develop attachment for, Radharani. So um, we know the Radharani's appearance. Of course, I mean, there is no two separate people actually. We all think Krishna and Radha are separate, but it is only one soul, and the bodies are just different because Krishna manifested. Generally we all understand Krishna as the supreme absolute truth. What is the truth behind? If you start by Sankhya Yoga, by analyzing, what is who is there behind all this thing. So we all know as, mostly many people know as he is the supreme absolute truth. That means he is the ultimate truth behind everything. But they say much more than that. Uh, uh, is is the supreme enjoyer. That is fact. That is the fact which we need to understand. He is the supreme enjoyer. He doesn't have anything. Though in Bhagavad Gita he says, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya drishkutam dharma samsthapanartanaya. You know, but the Lord doesn't come for these things basically. That is all very secondary. The Lord's name is enough to save people. And dharma samsthapanartaya, there are many devotees like Prabhupada who are there to, to establish, religion. And to punish devotees, he need not come at all. There are so many other great devotees are there, like Lord Shiva and all. So they are all very secondary. That only when we hear, only when we are superficial, this is what the cause of Lord's appearance we think. But actually, only when we hear to the pure devotees of the Lord, in a parampara, then we understand the real essence of why the Lord appears in this material world. The Lord is appearing here to attract, to give pleasure to his devotees. He also wants to take pleasure, and to give pleasure to his devotees and to attract them to himself. This is the main purpose for Lord. So the Lord is, the point here we need to understand is more than absolute truth. He is, yes, he is the supreme absolute truth. But the most important point is he is the supreme enjoyer. Only he is the supreme enjoyer. So to enjoy, so the Lord, the Shakti, is the Shaktiman, is the energetic. And what will energetic will do? Without energy also is required, right, for him. So that is what the energy is. Radharani. She is the Hladini potency. She is the pleasure-giving potency. So it is the same person expanding himself as Radharani. It is a single soul. They say Radha Krishna Eka Atma. There is only one soul for them. There is no two different kind of things. So Radharani is only a pleasure-giving potency, Hladini. So she is, so to have that, to enjoy, the Lord expands himself as Radharani, and so that's how they are two. If not, they both are only one. So there are so many wonderful pastimes, especially in Vrindavana. There is a book written by, other day Mataji was saying, wonderful story about Karavali, and how, there is another one was, another gopi coming and giving medicine. What was that? Vidya, not Tungavidya. She is the niece of Gargamuni. Another pastimes. These are all very wonderful. We know that how in Krishna enjoys in Vrindavana, all the time, playing with Radharani, trying to, always behind her. And we have seen even in the prayers of Jayadeva also, how wonderfully, Radha, whenever Krishna, how whenever Radharani is a sulking mood, because always Krishna tries to do something naughty kind of things. He's expert, no? Doing this, doing that. And, and Radharani gets very angry because Radharani is trying to sing, teach music to Krishna, and our man, just to make her, angry, he will start singing in a different tune altogether. And Radharani gets very angry because of that. Radharani is expert in music. I mean, she is Especially the kind of music she sings is so divine, I believe. So she's trying to reach Krishna, and he, sings in different tunes. She gets very angry, so she doesn't talk to him. She doesn't allow him to come too close to him. So we'll hear one of those pastime also. Just because Mataji suddenly said, I have to speak something, somehow will fulfill that. So how the Lord, how Radharani um, comes to this material world. We have this pastime where both um, sister and Radha, though they are, I mean, they're both wife and they both, sorry, brother and sister, how they curse each other in Golok, and as a result of that, they come down to Bhauma Vrundavana, to the place here. um, and wonderfully, Mataji, I remember whatever Mataji was speaking once, that Himachal, sorry, Himagiri is that, is the place where the personification, his daughter is Uma, that is Parvati, uh, 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 you know, and uh, so he got a very great son-in-law, Lord Shiva. So, so Vindhya, there is always competition. No? In material world also there is a competition. I am giving, my daughter to somebody. Somebody else will say, oh, I want to give my daughter to a better person, with our neighbor and in the relatives. We want to show off all the time. We have more these things than other person. So Vindhya mountains, actually she wanted to, she had a, of course there's a story behind that again. She had a daughter, and he wanted to have a better son-in-law than Lord Shiva. Now, who else can be there when a better son-in-law than Lord Shiva? It is only Lord Krishna has to be there. So when Vindhya mountains prayed for Lord, then he said, okay, yes. So that's how. Then that time, Kamsa was looking for children, all children, because he was cursed by, the Akashvani told him, right? The eighth child in Devaki's womb will punish you, will kill you. So Putana was looking, so Kamsa had given the order to kill all the children. So Putana was on this work. So Putana was going and she was flying and she saw this small, wonderful child Vindhya mountains had. So she picked up that child, and accident, it falls in Barsana. When Kirtida and Vrishabhanu, when they were there in Barsana, so the child falls down there, and these people collect the child and they took home. So we have here this pastime also, Narada coming down to the material world, because he knows that Lord has taken birth. Here, then the Lord is taken birth means definitely there is Radharani who is taken birth also. Naturally, the Lord cannot stay away from Radharani. So Radharani has taken birth. So he keeps going and he finds Krishna in Nanda's place. He sees the Lord and he's so happy. Then then he is looking for Radharani, but he is not able to find. Then he goes to Vrishabhanu's house, and Vrishabhanu shows him Sridham. He shows Sridham to him. So, I have a child, this is the child, please bless him and all. And he blesses Sridham, then when he was going back, then Vrishabhanu, because he knows Radharani, when she got Radharani, she was not opening her eyes, she was born blind, right? So Vrishabhanu tells Narada that, I also have one girl child, but see, please see her also, because Vrishabhanu thought Narada, because he being a Lord's this thing, pure devotee, there is something good will happen. So when he took him inside and showed Radharani, Radharani was so beautiful, and there cannot be, nobody can be beautiful than Radharani. In fact, there are only few beautiful people, they say. One is Sachimata, which wife of Indra, and Parvati Mata and Saraswati Mata. These three people, and much more beautiful than them is Lakshmi is, and more beautiful than Radharani. To all of them. So when he saw, beauty of those, he was blind, not opening her eyes, but when he saw, Radharani, he understood she is, and he just wanted a confirmation also. It is Radharani is the one who is taken birth. So the moment, Vrishabhanu put the baby in her hands, and Narada, totally, transported, himself into totally pure love. His body was filled with pure love. So he could not, contain himself the love for Krishna. So then immediately he understood. Oh, then both. I mean, Radha is here naturally. Krishna is here, so naturally Radharani is also, come here. And we know that wonderful pastime. All devotees know that. So Krishna comes for Radharani's, function, and and he crawls onto the swing where Radharani was, function was going on. The moment Krishna touches Radharani with his hand, then Radharani opens her eyes. So wonderful. So of course, in little places, there's a little this thing also. Sometimes they say, Yashoda came to see Radha, and she was having Krishna in her hand, then so when she saw Radharani, sometimes, the little different pastime. Probably this could have been in a different yuga. Krishna doesn't come every this thing. He comes only in 5. If you calculate, it is 500 billion years on earthly years. When it is calculated, it is 500 billion years only. He comes once in a. The Lord comes himself. If not, it is other Krishna. The Vishnu comes in the form of Krishna, but the Lord comes only once in a lifetime, once in a day of a Brahma, only once. So when he comes only, Radharani also comes, So when Krishna, she carries, so there will be sometimes there could be a little different pastime happening in a different, day of Brahma. So Yashoda comes to see Radharani, and and she had already Krishna in her armpit. She was holding Krishna like this, and Radharani was so beautiful. So Yashoda wanted to take him, and feel that she's so beautiful, and she puts Krishna down, and she picks up Radharani, and so our man understands it is Radharani. He is desperately waiting for her only. So he starts screaming, right? So having Radha in one hand, she picks up Krishna also with in another arm, and so both are Radha and Krishna, both of them. What a wonderful sight to see, with Yashoda holding all three Prema Murtis. Yashoda herself is so fortunate, and having Radha in one hand and having Krishna in another hand, and and that time Krishna touches Radharani, and then she opens her eyes. So whatever it is, only she did not want to see anything in this material world. She wanted to see only Krishna. That is the condition she has come to. She did not want to leave that original Vrindavana, but the only when Krishna says that, you will not have, I'll give you that boon, that, you will never think of anything else rather than me. So on that special agreement only, because that's the reason she did not want to see anybody else in this material world first, other than Krishna. So Radharani, wonderful. So our Vaishnava especially our parampara, glorifying Radharani, so there is no limit at all. Our all Goswamis, for that matter, not only Goswamis, and most, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, singing his prayers for Radharani. Our entire parampara, in fact, for that matter, not only all the people starting from, the whole parampara talks about, Radharani and how they can serve Radharani. Because unless, as we were saying, that Krishna is so strict, he's so strict that he came from Vrindavana and he's not gone back to Vrindavana at all. Though his heart was, always thinking about gopis and all, but he is so strict. He doesn't compromise on his principles, especially Krishna. He's so strict. He doesn't, he never goes back to Vrindavana. So for us to get Krishna's mercy is so difficult. Only way is that to get Krishna's mercy is through Radharani only, and our Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And to get Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu is the only way. So we always, that's why you see all our first Radha comes. Any temple, the first name is, Lakshmi. I mean, any incarnation of the Lord, you see Lakshmi Narayana, Sita Rama, Radha Krishna, Radha Ramana, all these things, because the mother is more important for us, so we go through mother. There is a wonderful pastime of, Balaji here to explain how important for us mother rather than father, that is Krishna, but to get mother's mercy is very, very, important. So we all have, we all have our, shortcomings to progress in devotional service. All the time, year after year, we are chanting or whatever it is, we are not progressing in devotional service. So once one devotee, goes to the temple where, the Lord is there, Lord, Vishnu with Sri Devi, Bhudevi and all. So every, day after day, every time this devotee gives, and always, he's got some excuse or something for not becoming pure, He'll say, I am busy in office, this is there, that is there, some excuse, all goalies, So the Lord, asks Bhudevi, now this man is a hopeless case. Can we reject him? Because so many years we have been seeing for this devotee, but every time something or other, let me finish this responsibility, let me finish that responsibility, let me finish that responsibility. So we will look, then I will become very serious. Right nowadays that we are hankering money, we are hankering after, when I can build a big building, when I will have a beachside mansion, this is what more important for us rather than having Krishna Prema. So he asks Bhudevi, can we reject this guy? Then Bhudevi says, no, we should not reject him, because this devotee, yeah, at least he is coming to you. He is not going anywhere. There are many other places where he could have gone. You could have gone to see a movie, or he could have gone to a bar, he could have gone to a restaurant, he could have gone for a sightseeing. There are so many other places he could have gone, but at least he is coming to the temple, not going anywhere and all. Though we go to the temple, we are sit in a Bhagavatam class and we sleep, but there are so many other places he could have done, but at least he is coming to the temple, sitting in a Bhagavatam class and sleeping, but at least he is coming, so we should not, I think we should not reject him. So the Lord was confused. Then he turned towards Sridevi, and he asked, what is your opinion? Because generally, never two ladies will have same opinion. Who is the enemy for lady? The other lady is only the enemy for lady. So never there will be a compromise between them. There is always difference of opinions will be there. Then and Sridevi said, yeah, she said, I don't disagree with Bhudevi. And Lord was very happy. Finally Sridevi is supporting me. She said, I disagree with Bhudevi because, how, she says that actually there is no question of rejecting somebody is not there in your dictionary at all. She tells, you cannot reject a person, somebody who comes to you, there is no question of rejecting at all. And how is he, you people are saying, he's not progressing, he's because of his sinful life and all. The moment he says, your name, all his sins are gone. So there is no question. You people are thinking he's not progressing and this and this and that, but there is no question. All his sins are getting, eradicated, by chanting. So, Bhudevi gives this, Sri Devi gives this counter to the Lord. So you see, though the Lord wanted to, here the summary is that the Lord is strict sometimes. He may not be merciful to us, but the mothers, they are very merciful. Even there's a wonderful pastime in Ramayana also, how merciful Sita is there. When Ram was going to forest, they say that initially the Lord only wanted to go. Then first he went to Sita. Then Sita some more, giving all this and that she convinced, that she will accompany him. Then finally it was Lakshman. So he also puts a lot of prayers to the Lord. He is, but he is catching Lord's lotus feet that, please take me. There are wonderful prayers in Ramayana, the Lakshmana glorifying, why he has to come with him, to the forest. But they say, actually he's catching Lord's lotus feet, but he's looking at Sita and, talking all these prayers. Catching Lord's lotus feet, but he is communicating to Sita, why he should come along with them to the forest. So that means we understand that it is, for us only hope. The Lord is so strict, he will not give mercy to us so easily. It is only through mother, and Radharani is supreme mother for all of us. Sarva Lakshmi Mayi Sarva. She is the root for all the Lakshmis. Krishna Mayi Prokta. Radhika Paradevata. She is the supreme Devata for all Devatas. Just like how Lord Krishna is the root for all other manifestations, male manifestations, whatever we call it, the three Vishnus and, all other Balram and, all those things, how he is the root. Similarly, for all feminine manifestations, it is Srimati Radharani is the root for all, that's why she said Radhika Paradevata. So all our Vaishnava Acharyas also, in fact, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, such a wonderful, pure devotee. In fact, his son Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati also, there's so many prayers. There's, especially they say when you are going parikrama and all, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says you should think about more than Radharani, more than Krishna. All the focus should be there. All other people, maybe other people, they think about Krishna because he is the supreme personality of Godhead. So, but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says, when we are in Vrindavana, if you are not thinking about Radharani means, then we don't belong to this Gaudiya Sampradaya at all. All the time our focus should be there on, on Radharani only. Not on the Lord. In fact, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the wonderful prayers, he sings that actually his prayers are so, he is always thinking how he can help, Radharani, in his next life also. They're so compassionate to Radharani because he is suffering in Vrindavan, right? Because Krishna has left her and gone to, Mathura and Dwaraka, and she is struggling here, all the time, to satisfy. She's in somebody's house. She's married to Abhimanyu. She's got a very crooked, Jatila, Kutila, and but the soul is there. With all the time she's thinking of Krishna, and Krishna is away. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing prayers, saying that, I will take my next life in Yavat. Yavat is the place where, Radharani stays with Jatila and Kutila. So we should just sing these prayers probably sometime. Today we have an evening class, right? So we'll have, the Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayers singing for Radharani. So he's so full of mood for Radharani. He's saying, let me take my birth in Yavat, so that Radharani can keep her shoulder on me, on my, and she can cry. because Krishna happily gone to, Mathura, Dwaraka is there with all queens there, and here Radharani is crying, and who is there to, support Radharani there in Avat? All other gopis are also, they are fully busy. They are also, crying and all the time. There is nobody to give helping hand to Radharani. So let me give my shoulder. Let me take my next birth in Avat, so I can, keep giving comfort to her. See the mood of, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And so all our acharyas, of course, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and more is, Raghunath Goswami, because Raghunath Das Goswami is all the time, where is his place? His place is in, he stays very famous, he stays in Radha Kund, near Radha Kund, he stays. And Raghunath Goswami is the, he is the, the Sambandha, Abhideya, is the Prayojana Acharya, actually, that is love for Krishna, Prayojana Acharya. So he's all the time. And what is that love? Who is the storehouse of that love? It is Radharani. So he's all the time in Radharani's mood. And he is so engrossed, thinking about Radharani all the time, sitting besides Radha Kunda, chanting. And Radharani comes to give protection to him. He is such a pure a devotee. It is so hot in, Vrindavana. And here Raghunath Goswami is singing. And Radharani is sweating herself. But she is holding her chunni, her sari, so that, Raghunath Das Goswami can chant. See how mother naturally, and Prabhupada also, if you read, on Prabhupada's lecture on, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Prabhupada very nicely explains that Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the word Hare is actually we are addressing to mother. And Prabhupada, very famous example he gives, right? When the child cries, when she is hungry, how she cries, and the mother comes, child cries so many times. Natak also does. Children are very expert in doing this natak, But when she really cries, mother will come running, So even when we chant, actually we should cry for Radharani, for to get her mercy, then only, because she is the one who employs people in Krishna's service, right? She is the Vrindavaneshwari. She is controller of, Vrindavana. So only when she gives move to us, then we can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for her. So our chanting should be like a crying baby. How she cries for a milk, mother's milk. So our chanting should be there like that. So all our Vaishnava acharyas, their mood is Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. You see, in Vrindavana, nobody says Krishna. They all the time talk about, Radhe, 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 Radhe. They talk about that. So I will hear that. Finally, as we said just before winding up, we'll have one small pastime, so that Radha Krishna pastimes are so wonderful, nectarian. There's a Vishwanath Chakravarti has written very nice book, Chamatkara Chandrika. I know that there is, these wonderful pastimes of, Radha Krishna, which, other day Mataji was reading Karavali story, and there's the other one, that, and Krishna, because Radharani is blessed by Durvasa Muni. Okay, it's time up, sorry. I think we'll have this pastime also in the evening. It's time up. Hare Krishna. Durvasa Muni is blessed by Radharani. So that, she never repeats any cooking for Krishna. Whatever she does one day, and she doesn't repeat at all, it seems for Krishna. So that is what Durvasa Muni is blessing for her. And that's the reason when she cooks, it's full of love for Krishna. So Yashoda all the time, and Nanda Maharaj, since they are the queen and king of Vrindavana, Jatila and Kutila also have to accommodate their request, because they cannot overthrow the king's request, right? He's the king of, this. So Yashoda calls Radharani all the time. And, sometimes Jatila and Kutila, they suspect, oh, Radha is something doing Krishna. So they try to obstruct. And all these wonderful pastimes are there in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura's book, that Chamatkara, Chandrika. So anyway, we'll stop here. It's time up. Thank you. Sorry. And I mean, should have been Mataji giving this wonderful Radhashtami day. But nevertheless, okay, we pray to Mother Radharani today, to bless all of us, uh, because we are bitten by this serpent called Kali Yuga. So since we are bitten by this serpent of Kali Yuga, our mind all the time, no matter how many classes we hear, these wonderful pastimes about, sacrifice, the pure love. Mataji always saying that, other love, what we see in this material world is only a lust. That means you are seeing how much happiness I will get out of that love. So in this material world, there is nothing called pure love. Pure love always is, sacrifice. In pure love, there is no sense gratification at all. It is only you have to sacrifice for opposite party. So in this material world, what we see, in the material world, what? We are expecting love from the opposite. So I am feeling good, whatever, Romeo Juliet, or, Salim Anarkali, or Laila Majnu, what all, why they want, thinking, okay, Laila is thinking Majnu, in Majnu's company, I'll feel very happy. So it's only a sense gratification, this thing. But the true love is always calls for a sacrifice, how Radharani sacrificed herself, so that's on a different platform at all. In our level, we are not even get rid of these basic attachments to matter, because we are bitten by this serpent. And only hope for us is this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the only hope. And that Hare Krishna Mahamantra we are not able to chant properly because of, so many offenses and so many, attachments of this thing. So we pray to Mother, the Supreme Mother, Radharani, so that we will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so that at least we will, we will never experience that pure love, what, the Goswamis and all are talking about, but at least theoretically, at least we try to understand, how glorious it is. So we wish all the devotees. Yeah, if somebody wants to add anything or any questions, yes, they can ask. Then if we'll go to the prayers, if not. Hare Krishna.